Podcast. Daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Thank you so much once again for being here. Welcome to the week. Okay. My God. There was so much drama going on over the weekend, and I kind of will just pick it up from last week. I mean, it isn't often that you can start the show or end the week talking about something as stupid as college football. Now, I know for some of you, that's a ridiculous statement for me to make because you're like, oh, man, well, this is like the most important thing on the planet, college football. It's my team. You know, my team is, holy cow, I've got to support them. And I get that. I don't have a problem with any of that. I know I make fun and say Walmart Wolverines. And yeah, of course, a lot of people that root for the Wolverines didn't go to Michigan. I get that. I mean, someone made a good point online when they said, yeah, you didn't play for the Lions, yet you root for the Lions. I'm like, that's a great point. You're right. I don't have any problem with people rooting for a college football team at all. But what I do love is the dramatics, which I didn't realize that this was going to go this way because the Michigan football coach, Jim Harbaugh, who went to Michigan, pretty good pro career as a quarterback, done very well in coaching. My God, he coached Stanford to great heights. And then he coached the San Francisco 49ers and then off to Michigan. And it seems like every time he would leave a school or a pro team like San Francisco, people are like, yeah, he wore out his welcome. Now, I don't know if that's possible at Michigan. Okay. And for years, he didn't do shit. And then all of a sudden, he catches fire, and he's been kicking ass for the last 2.5 years. Okay. Well, then after all this nonsense breaks about sign stealing, and then, but Harbaugh's like, I didn't know anything about it. I had no idea. Plausible deniability. Now, I thought it ended when the NCAA, college football, said, yeah, we don't have anything that links Jim Harbaugh to this sign stealing. How that doesn't end it, I don't know. But the Big Ten, which is the conference that they play in, which has like 50 teams in it, there was a day when the Big Ten used to be like 10 teams. It was Michigan, Ohio State, and then a bunch of losers. Now there's like 50 teams there. The Big Ten is run by some guy who, some Italian dude, Petiti. I'd never heard of him. Now he's a household name, and Michigan fans actually want him dead. Okay, they're actually like, in Michigan is the state of Michigan is full of crazy fucks. You know, they'll shoot you right in the face if you look at them cross-eyed. You know, we raid the Capitol. I mean, come on, this place is fucked up. This is a fucked up state. So the psychopaths that live here, they want this guy who runs the Big Ten, they want his head on a pike because there's a rumor coming around that they're going to suspend Jim Harbaugh. And I was like, well, no, there's no way. There's no way that that's going to happen, right? Because the NCAA just said we can't find anything that Now, of course, Harbaugh was in on it. We all know that. Even Michigan fan knows that Jim Harbaugh and this Connor Stalions concocted this themselves. And Harbaugh said, but, I'm pretty smart. So if anything goes down, you're taking the fall, but we'll give you millions to keep your mouth shut. Now, that's all my rumor and conjecture that I'm making up off the top of my head. But it's true. So Connor Stalions goes down, and then there's nothing to link Jim Harbaugh. Well, I don't know why the Big Ten hates Harbaugh, but they do. There's no doubt. And that's fine with me. I mean, Harbaugh is a fucking psycho. They suspend Harbaugh. He can't coach the team for the next 3 games. And the Big Ten waited until like the last minutes of Friday. Like he was getting on the airplane. He was on the airplane traveling to Penn State and with the team, and they suspended him while the plane was en route to Happy Valley. And then it lands, and there's actually a picture of him on the tarmac. They're like breaking the news, having a conference with some of the other Michigan cheaters on the tarmac about this. So he's out. Now, what was hilarious, though, was all of the Michigan faithful on social media, because I was posting about this, every minute of it on Facebook, Harbaugh out. And then every Michigan fan was like, oh, come on. They got a judge on standby. And I don't know who the asshole was that came up with that one. Judge on standby. Like he's there and he's standing next to his hanging robe by the bench, and he's just going to like slip into it and then sit down and say, all right, that's illegal. Supposedly there was talk that there was some type of, I don't even know. I keep hearing words like injunction and restraining order, and I'm like, I don't know. Isn't that what like most fucking former Zaniacs have against them? But they're like, oh yeah, he's gonna coach. He'll be there. He'll be there all those games. And I don't know. I mean, it just was remarkable to me. My point is, that everybody was like, well, we got it figured out. Yeah, he's going to be coaching against Penn State, and he's not going to miss any time. This is all bullshit. And I'm like, well, I don't know that it is. How does anybody know that? Well, as it turns out, then the day leaves us on Friday. Nothing. Saturday, the sun rises. Michigan has to play at Penn State, and there is no judge on standby. In fact, it's not going to even be spoken in a court until like Friday, like 5 days from now, 4 days from now. So Michigan then has to play the football game minus Harbaugh. And, okay, I think when I was watching that game, I wouldn't have watched it. I would not even have watched the game. But I was interested because I wanted Michigan to lose. And the reason why I wanted Michigan to lose is because of you Michigan fans. You are fucking children. Okay? There is nothing more annoying than a Michigan football fan. And now I'll be totally honest with you. I love Blake Corum. I love, what's the quarterback's name? Toots McGillicuddy. He's an Irish dude. JJ McGillicuddy. JJ McCarthy. He's awesome. I love the guy. In fact, I don't have a problem with the team any way, shape, or form. Harbaugh is annoying as fuck. But I love the fact that they are that good out of the great state of Michigan. I don't give a shit if they win or lose. No, I take it back. I actually do want them to win, but I temper that because I know that Michigan fan will be annoyed and butthurt if something, just to see the complaining and see all the drama that they, oh my God, what a bunch of soft whores you are. Holy shit. Tyler says Michigan fans are right up there with people who say, I'm a veteran every chance they get. Chris in Maine says, these motherfuckers are going to win the national championship because of this shit. Becca Shea says, I'm going to name my next pet Toots McGillicuddy. Kuipers, who's a Michigan fan, says, Hater's gonna hate. Aram says, I think all of us are now Michigan fans. Kenny, I like this. Kenny says, I've never watched a full college football game in my life, but I love hearing about all this drama. That's exactly right. Who cares about the game? Who cares about whether they win or lose? I just like the fighting. So then after Harbaugh gets, After Harbaugh gets in trouble, the Michigan fans, I'm going to move over to the side so y'all can enjoy the dogs too. I adjusted my camera and I don't know if I like it, so it's going to be weird for today. I cleaned the room again. Michigan football players start writing bet, all caps, bet, after Harbaugh. It's announced. You know, this is going to, like, pump them up. And I don't know what the fuck that is. I guess that means beat every team. I looked it up. So that means that every Michigan slappy that exists is now writing bet. Okay. Penn State hung in there, but Michigan's really good. Holy shit, are they good? They made the Penn State offense look ridiculous. I couldn't figure out what they were doing. When the game is on the line and Penn State hasn't done shit, but they still have a chance to win the game late. But they got to do something creative with the offense. Penn State ran a play where the quarterback gets the ball and he goes here and he just hands it off to the running back who's running right into the asshole of the fucking center. It gets like 1 inch. And then they ran it again and again and punted. And then Michigan handed it off to Blake Corum, who's the absolute beast. And he ran it into the end zone. Game over. That game should have been like 100-0. I was shocked that it was that close. So Michigan fan now has to wait it out. They play Maryland this coming weekend and then Ohio State. And, you know, I don't know if it matters if Harbaugh is coaching or not. I think that the players can, that whole Michigan versus everybody. By the way, they didn't waste any time making the gear that says Michigan versus everybody. And then every local dick is now wearing one of those shirts to work. Michigan versus everybody. We're the Outlaws. God. And that's it. That's it. There's, if Michigan gets the legal fight in their favor, that means Harbaugh will be back. But I don't know. Do you want him back? Joe Martinez says, what happened to the ass whooping you claimed? Well, did I actually say they are going to beat Michigan, or did I say I hope they beat Michigan? I don't recall if I actually said they are going to win the game. But whatever. Who cares? Joe Martinez, he is letting his middle fingers fly. He actually walked up to me. This is what he did Friday night at the hockey game. He normally sits on the opposite side of the rink from where I am. And I usually see him there with his family. He wandered over to where I sit. And I was standing there facing the ice, doing my job with my headphones on, taking notes of what I need to do. And I hear on the glass, I turn around, it's him. And he's keeping his hands down so no one sees it. And he's giving me the middle finger. Like, fuck you, because I was making fun of Michigan. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. He's standing right next to his lovely little granddaughter, who I had a really nice conversation with after the game on Saturday. She is so sweet. Oh, my God. Your grandkids are just spectacular. I love them so much. Jesus. You have the, because Joe's granddaughter's dad is David. Okay? Now, David is a Chinese Italian. Have you ever heard of something so magnificent? A Chinese Italian. Mom is Mexican. That combo has created such a beautiful, beautiful little girl. You guys are so blessed. What an all of your grandkids. Absolutely perfect. My God. So there you go. It was good seeing Joe. Joe went and spent big money, big HVAC money on a brand new jersey he got at the jersey auction. Awesome. Kent dropped the E out of use as Michigan is going to get fined for having two coaches better than Ryan Day. He's the coach of Ohio State. And Joe Martinez brainwashed the little girl to say, "Go blue" to me. My God. So annoying. Mediocrity Dave says 2 things I always know about someone as soon as I meet them. If they're a vegan or if they're a Michigan fan, because they're going to tell you about it. Joe Pellerito says, I'm a Wolverine and just wanted to express I'm a Wolverine and they are kicking ass. I'm a Wolverine. I can't tell if you're serious or not. Chris in Maine says, which racist on this chat is going to go for the asshole of the day. I'm not sure what that means. Is there someone saying something terrible? Tyler says Joe Martinez should have also had his granddaughter say to you, Easy, tu madre es una puta. Which, by the way, I have to... I got a email from Matteo, who speaks ghetto Spanish, as he describes it. He says, for real, call me anytime you want to do Forbidden Spanish. I live in South Texas and married a la chicana y hablo la lengua de los calles. Deos calles. I speak street Spanish. Because he wrote to me an email, subject line, pinche pendejo, which Joe Martinez referred to me as that last week. And then I was very confused when I went to Google Translator, and I couldn't figure out why pendejo means one thing, and if you put pinche in front of it, it means something different or worse, I guess. Matt explains this. Pinche is an adjective, and its meaning depends on the word it's describing. A pinche pendejo is more than a lousy idiot. He's a worthless moron. No good at all, not a single redeeming quality. A pendejo is an idiot, a dullard, not the sharpest tool, blah, blah. But the pinche pendejo is so much more. Like, a puta is a bitch asshole for sure. Si claro, pero un pinche puta is a ratchet ass whore that makes your piss burn. And then there's an upside down question mark, and it says, ¿Me entiendes? Entiendes with a regular question mark. What's up with the upside down question mark? I don't know what the fuck that even means. So the line, like a puta is a bitch asshole for sure. Si claro, pero un pinche puta is a ratchet ass whore that makes your piss burn. Okay. Apparently it is Mateo, but he spells it Matteo because I guess that's something I used to say, but I like Matteo better, so fuck it. Joe Martinez says the big problem will come down on Michigan gambling. I have no idea. The coach of the Michigan football team, or the interim coach, is Sharon Moore. Is it Sharon or Sharon? I think it's Sharon Moore. He filled in for Jim Harbaugh. After the game, he went on TV and started swearing and crying. He's talking about baby Jesus. He's crying and he's swearing, which I then took that video and wrote Michigan head football coach Ray Lewis breaks down the big game. Now, that's a joke. It's a joke that if you know, you know. Ray Lewis, former Baltimore Raven linebacker, notorious for always talking about baby Jesus, even though he murdered people, and swearing like an asshole and crying. That was the joke. But Michigan guy is too dumb to know that, because I posted that and they were like, oh, that's not Ray Lewis. That's Sharon Moore. Don't you know anything? You're an idiot. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? One guy is a local dude who actually no, and that's what he said. And I posted the gif of, or the meme of stick figure with the word joke going over his head. And then he probably realized it when I wrote that because he then deleted what he said. It's like, of course you did, you dumbass. Now, everybody is killing this Sharon Moore. They're just beating the shit out of him, and I don't know why. I love this guy. This guy, the game ends, and he's like super emotional. And he's crying, talking about baby Jesus, and then starts swearing. And this was great. It was my favorite part. This is the first step towards me liking Michigan. The fact that you got a coach saying, thank you, baby Jesus. I fucking love the shit out of Jim Harbaugh. I'll play it in a second. But, I mean, you see, people are stupid. You see, now I'm starting to root for Michigan because that guy is dropping that shit on national TV. It was fantastic. And then anybody who hates Michigan, who wanted them to lose, except me, is like, how dare he? Oh, my God. He swore. Oh, what a classless scum Michigan piece of shit. He said he loves Jesus, and then he said bad words. Shut the fuck up. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. That was my favorite part of all this. This guy comes on there and starts dropping F-bombs and S-bombs and is crying and talking about baby Jesus. Fuck yeah.
Congratulations first on the win. To say that this has been a crazy 24 hours for your guys, to win on the road in this environment when there were doubts. Sharon, what does it mean to you?
Is this Sharon?
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man. Did this for you. For this university, the president, our AD, we got the best players, best university, best alumni in the country. Love you guys. These fucking guys right here. These guys right here, man. These guys did it. These guys did it, man. Talk to him, man. Love you.
Talk to him, man. I'm out. Poor Corum. He's like, what the fuck? Coach just had a meltdown. All right, I got to watch it all again. Now, okay. Look. It would have been so much more well, it has been fantastic. It would have been really fantastic if Michigan lost. Okay? Because but they didn't. They kicked Penn State's ass without any cheating. They have cheated all the way up to this scandal. You know it, and I know it. Michigan fan, you know it, and you don't, and you shouldn't give a shit, really. Who cares? But you did. You are cheating motherfuckers. And Harbaugh, he concocted the whole goddamn plan, and you know it. Don't tell me he didn't. All right? He did a good job of covering up his tracks. Should he be suspended? Well, yeah, actually, he should. And I also love that the Big Ten did suspend him because they're like, fuck you. We know you did it, and we don't need any fucking evidence. This isn't a court of law, fuckface. Fuck you. You're suspended. So that's all good. Take your fucking medicine and shut the fuck up. But then they go and they beat the shit out of Penn State. That's fucking sweet that they don't give a shit. The drama's fantastic. And then you got this guy saying what he said.
Congratulations first on the win. To say that this has been a crazy 24 hours for your guys, to win on the road in this environment when there were doubts. Sharon, what does it mean to you?
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man. Did this for you. For this university, the president, our AD, we got the best players, best university, best alumni in the country. Love you guys. These fucking guys right here. These guys right here, man. These guys did it. These guys did it, man. Talk to him, man. Love you.
That's it. He just dips out. Goddamn, was that awesome. That is just beautiful. I guess it worked out. Everybody's happy. Well, I don't know if I mean, I'm indifferent. I don't care that they won. I would have liked it more if they lost because of the drama. I'm kind of a troll. That's my thing. People accused me, like when I was posting about it, they're like, oh, yeah, you're a soft Sparty. Oh, you're a fucking buck. It's like, you asshole. I don't get into this shit like you fucking idiots. Are you kidding me? Like I care. I don't walk around wearing my, saying, yeah, let's go blue or let's go Sparty. I don't give a shit. Chris says, I hate these assholes who cry because they care. Hate this guy so much. Wait, what? You got to be kidding there, right? I don't understand that. You're an athlete. Joe says so many watched it live, then rewatched it. Loved it. Linda says to the coach, get your pacifier and go home, pussy. How can you possibly call him a pussy? Because he's emotional? I don't understand that. Chris says, yeah, be a pro. Act like you've been there. You guys are tough. You are not buying that at all. I love that guy. You know? Maureen asks if Blake Corum is 4 feet tall. He's a little fella. There's no question. He's very powerful. He's a good back. But, yeah, he's a little fella. And that coach was, I think, a big boy. Okay. So Linda says he's a pussy, and anti-Michigan folks say the same thing. I disagree with that. I do not agree with that whatsoever. I think that when you've been under a lot of pressure and you still rise to the occasion, I think that in my opinion, now if you're crying over like if Harbaugh got busted, that's different. Okay? Kenny says, I'd cheer for Michigan just because Jeremy was a fan. Love that guy so much. Missed the shit out of Jeremy, man. Fucking love that guy, man. I don't know who you're talking about. You mean Jeremy K? You mean Rainbow Flag Jeremy? Is that who you're talking about? Or are you talking about the guy, Jeremy and Saranac? I don't know what happened with. I still see him from time to time. If that's who you're talking about, Jeremy and Saranac, because I see him from time to time at the hockey games. He's doing great. I think from time to time he listens, but who knows? Okay, so that was just incredible. Now Michigan waits. Okay. This week they take on Maryland, and then you have the game between Ohio State and Michigan. Now, I will tell you that where it would have been fantastic if Michigan lost against Penn State, but they are really, really good. They're not going to lose against Maryland, and I don't know if it even matters if Harbaugh, because he can coach them during the week, but he can't be on the sidelines as of right now, unless there's some legal fight that changes that. But this is all excellent drama. This is all fantastic. Chris in Maine says that Coach Sherrod Moore would stab anyone who talks poorly about Harbaugh in the neck with his prayers. So true, my God. Since we're in the order that they happened over the weekend, that's Michigan. Yesterday, the Lions were in an absolute stone-cold shootout with the Los Angeles Chargers. The Lions won the game 41-38. Now, the thing that stands out to me is this is how Dan Campbell has improved his coaching. Because he's been in this situation before, and he's approached it differently. But with like 2.5 minutes to go, the Lions are kind of in field goal range in a tie game. It's 4th down with 2 yards to go at like the 38-yard line of Los Angeles. So it would have been a long field goal. But if they were successful kicking it, the Chargers would have had plenty of time to then try to score and win the game. And they haven't been able to stop the Chargers at all. So 4th and 2, and they go for it. And they fucking get it. So then, now they're closer than ever. Then they just burn that clock down to like 1 second, and then they kick a field goal, walk off, win the game on the road, 41-38. Okay, so now here they are 9 games in. They have 7 wins, 2 losses. Number 2 team in the league behind the Philadelphia Eagles. How cool is that? The fact that Dan Campbell goes for it. Now, if they would have fucked that up, think about that. How much of a gamble that is. Then they're handing the ball back to the Chargers in a tie game on the road, and their defense can't stop anybody. They said, fuck this shit. We're going to get this first down, and then we're going to burn that clock and win the game. The kicker for the Lions, I don't know what his fucking name is. I don't know. Some white guy. No one knows who the guy is. It just says kicker on the back of his jersey. No one cares. The only thing that matters is, can he kick a field goal or not? And this guy, he's like got no experience. His name is Kicker. Okay, it says Riley Patterson, but I didn't know that. I thought it was Eddie Murray. This dude comes out and he's got ice water in his veins. Now, this is he behaved quite a bit differently than Michigan's head coach. This is Riley Patterson's quote after the game. What were you thinking of when you had to go kick that field goal?
Oh, yeah. It was awesome. Walking up there, got a little bit of time. I say some Bible verses to myself.
I said some Bible verses to myself. Okay. Can you imagine if he hops on ChristianMingle.com after this?
Up there, got a little bit of time. I say some Bible verses to myself. I say 2 Timothy 1:7, for the Spirit of God does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. So.
Oh, no. This guy is the full deal. Cutie patootie, rich, not injured, no blemishes on his face, and ChristianMingle.com is going to love him.
To myself, I say 2 Timothy 1:7, for the Spirit of God does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. So power, thinking about how much my God loves me, gives me a little bit of peace going up for a big moment like that. So that's really what I'm thinking about. And from there on out, you just count out the steps and going through the ball, and so before you know it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. All right. Now, he should have said, 2 Timothy verse 17, and God makes me not timid. Jesus makes me strong. And I just went in there and put my fucking foot in that motherfucker and kicked the shit out of that fucking ball. He should have challenged his inner Sharon Moore, whatever his name is. Young Adam Schwab says, so God is rooting for the Lions. Neat. I don't think he said that. That's not what I got out of it. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome. Walking up there, got a little bit of time. I say some Bible verses to myself. I say 2 Timothy 1:7, for the Spirit of God does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. So now, I guess I see what you're saying, because
if the guy on the other side of the ball for the Chargers said the same verse and he said, give me the strength to block this ball, I will not, because, he said the same thing. And then his kick goes through. Clearly, God would then be a Detroit Lions fan.
Power, thinking about how much my God loves me, gives me a little bit of peace going up for a big moment like that.
But he said, he didn't say that. All he said was saying that gives him peace. Okay? I think it's all a big test of your faith, because if you go through all of that and then you miss it, you can't really look up and say, hey, thanks, jerk. That's a big problem if you do that. I don't know. Anyway, he seemed excited. He's good. How about, again, this guy is going to pull tons of tail. Riley Patterson is his name. Detroit somehow has 7 wins and 2 losses. Maureen says, my son and Linda spoiled the ending of the game for me. They found out online that the kick was good seconds before it happened on TV and ruined it for the rest of us. Oh, that's a phenomenon, and I actually am very aware of that happening because I was watching. I've had that happen where I've been watching like on my phone, and it might be like 2 seconds ahead of TV, like before the actual kick happens, and then Diana starts freaking out, and then the NFK has it spoiled. I think if you are watching it and you know that you're ahead of TV viewing, you got to keep your voice down. Maureen says she was a little pissed because her sister, Linda, had blown it. Linda says, I did not do that. Someone named Trajan did it. I don't know who that is. The grandson, I guess. No, the son. That's Maureen's son. All right, so now those two, Homer's sisters, are fighting. Yeah, you got to be careful. You can't lose your shit when you're watching online like that. But my God. Okay, for those enjoying the show on Facebook, X, and YouTube, it's time to say goodbye. The rest of the show is available when you download the Twitch app and then search Eric Zane Live. It's uninterrupted on Twitch every day. Check out the show on Twitch, or if you're at a desktop or laptop, just go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. And off you go. The audio podcast is made available wherever you download shows each and every day. Please give me a review on Apple Podcasts. Thank you very much. The Patreon is available for you. Damnedest thing happened over the weekend. This is funny. I posted, who are these Ottawa County fascists? And I've had many posts in the last week, whether the free podcast or the Patreon, that have been labeled things like Joe Moss makes Adeline Hambley a millionaire. Things like that, talking about the Ottawa County nonsense and how those stupid idiots are running the county into the ground. In fact, the show, Who Are These Ottawa County Fascists? Episode 3 is titled, Joe Moss Gives Millions to Adeline Hambley, the health director. All of that drama. I've been talking about it for almost 1 full year. So I get back from the hockey game the other night, and I'm just looking at my inbox, and I get a notice whenever anybody signs up for a free 7 days on Patreon. And it says, hey, let's welcome in another 7-day free trial, Adeline Hambley. Okay, so I've been Team Adeline Hambly from the get-go. Team anti-Ottawa Impact from the get-go. So I was like, this is so cool. Now, I'm like, I know for a fact that the first thing Adeline Hambly would do when she signed up for a 7-day membership is going to go to the latest edition of Who Are These Ottawa County Fascists, Episode 3, titled Joe Moss Gives Adeline Hambly Millions. So right away, I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, I know I said a lot of jokes. Stu was there, but I couldn't tell you one of them. So I started to play it from the beginning. And I think it was at the point that I started to cringe when I suggested that Adeline Hambly, the first thing she's going to do with the $4.1 million is get some fresh BBC. So I'm like, oh, boy, okay. Now, you know, you can't ever be worried about the jokes when you're saying them. You just say them, okay? They just happen. And that will never not happen. I will always try to say the most fucked up shit ever. Again, when it leaves my mouth, it is no longer my problem. You decide what you want to do with it. Just know going in, it's always a joke. Everything's a joke. If any of you are immature enough to let any shit bother you, like last week, who was it? Brandis was butthurt about something. It's like, I don't know what are you doing? I don't even remember what it was. I know I said something that pissed her off. But Adeline doesn't know that. I don't think she has any idea. I mean, maybe she does. But yeah, and then so basically, if you were to go back and listen to Who Are These Ottawa County Fascists, Episode 3, with the knowledge that Health Director Hambly was hearing it, it makes it more fun to listen to. So that's what you should do. You should go back on Patreon and listen to that bit, that whole show with Stu and the jokes. Now, again, I am team not Ottawa County Impact. I am everyone that is like trying to get. I'm team Joe Spalding, Larry Jackson, recall Lucy Ebel. I'm happy Adeline Hambly has $4.1 million. I'm happy that her vice or deputy health director is gets a massive vacation and she gets a payout too, you know, and I want nothing but the best for those people. But I still got to be me. I still have to make those jokes. You know, big picture, we always have to make those jokes. They have to happen. So I reached out to her. I go, hey, I see you followed my Patreon. I don't know if you're used to what I do, but everything has to be taken with a huge grain of salt. I mean, I rarely go back and say and make excuses. But in this case, I want Adeline Hambly on my side. I want her to laugh at that. But so I don't know her sensibility. I don't know her sense of humor. I have no idea. She might be like that kicker for the Lions. And if she hears me talking about BBC, oh, fuck. So, you know, you still got to make jokes. Everything has to be a joke. Jokes first, always. That's all we're concerned with is you laughing. And not everybody laughs at every joke, but tough shit. That's the way I make the stew. So Chris says context, LOL. Florida Man 814 says Stu was good on that show. He started a bit uncomfortable. Once he started laughing and getting cracks in, it was a really fun episode. Thank you. Kenny says, I wonder if it was just someone else who used the name or something, though. Yeah, I thought of that too. I don't know. I do not know. I guess it's possible. All right. Anyway, sign up for Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Plenty of material there for you, and you can try it out for free, just like if this is Adeline Hambley did. You just go to patreon.com/Eric Zane. If you've never done this before, if you've signed up previously, if you've previously been on Patreon, you can. I don't think. But if you're brand new and never accessed the material before, you can absolutely sign up for Patreon for 7 days free. You do have to put in a credit card form in there, like you have to attach a credit card payment form to it. And as long as if you cancel before the 7 days, and you can do it minutes after you sign up, you get the 7 days. Otherwise, it will renew automatically after the 7 days for either $5 or $10 a month. Thank you. If you've ever tried, I appreciate that. It's all I ask you to do is try the show. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Excuse me.